This is a belt sander designed by Matthias Wandel. We downloaded the plans for this, modeled it in Fusion 360, made it like a bit easier to machine on the CNC, cut out all the parts on the CNC, and we put it together over the last few months, and that's pretty much ready to go now. A couple of things about how the belt sander works. To switch it on, there's an emergency stop switch on the bottom here. Now you need to lift the cap on that and push the green button underneath. Switch on the belt. In the case of an emergency, or if you just want to stop the belt, you can hit the e-stop. There's a guide table here to help try and keep your edges square. When you're using the belt sander, you should try and move the table up and down just to work different parts of the belt so it wears out evenly, and it'll just help increase the longevity for the belt. And then there's thumb screws or bolts here to hold the table in place. Okay, so when the belt's turning, the belt can move along the roller, and that's called tracking. So what you don't want to do is for the belt to run off to one side and it'll actually start to chew into the side of the machine. We obviously don't want that, or it will slip off and probably damage the belt and tear it. Belts are about $8 each, so bear that in mind. You want to take care of the belt. So these knobs can be used to track the belt. So as you're sanding, if you can see the belt moving up or down, you can adjust the tracking, and that'll help keep the belt centered. The other bolt here, you need a spanner to adjust. That'll adjust the tension on the belt. So that's what we undo that, obviously, to help take the belt off and replace the belt. Just keep an eye on that, and if there's any issues, you can let us know on the Slack. Under here's the belt. So this is the belt guard. Obviously, don't run the machine with the belt guard off. It's very easy to trap your fingers. Okay, next point to make. There is a dust port on the side of the machine. That's just a 50mm hose, plugs into the dust extractor. Please run that. Make sure that you're extracting the dust when you're using the machine, because there's a lot of fine dust kicking up in the air. Now, you can turn the belt, you can turn the sander from like an edge sanding mode, so have it just facing up as a standalone unit, and it can just rest there, and you can sand using the top face if you prefer. Now I'm just showing the belt from the top. As you can see, the belt's not in the center of the sander. It's pushing up against this side, so it's actually starting to wear on this piece of timber. There are some washers inside to resist against the belt cutting through, but if you let the belt right up against this side long enough, it'll actually cut through the machine itself, which is not good. So we want the belt to be tracking in the middle of this steel wearing plate pretty much. So how can we adjust that? So we can use the tracking knob here. So when the machine's running, we can adjust the tracking to get the belt in the center. Once it's running in the center, we're finished. Here's another view to show how to adjust the tracking of the belt sander when it's on its side. This is a group of videos just showing how to do some techniques with the sander. This piece of timber's got a pretty rough edge, so we're just going to clean that up. Even pressure on the edge into the steel plate.
The belt's moving down because there's not enough tension on it, and it's throwing the tracking out. You can see much flatter, smoother edge. Now just going to add a fillet to the top and bottom edges of the piece of timber. So place it against the plate and roll it up and down until you get the fillet that you want. 2mm or 1mm is usually nice. So finally another fillet, this time in the flat plane. So square off the corners and just rotate the material at the point of contact on the belt. And you'll end up with a fillet.